Hello, what's up? Cormando here. Welcome to my WWE Hell in a Cell 2016 predictions video. Let's get straight to it. Pre-show match, which was just announced this week, on Wednesday actually, is the Cruiserweights, a rematch from WWE Superstars, which I just watched. It was alright. Still not using Drew Gulak the way he should be getting used, but it was an alright match. Cedric Alexander, Lince Dorado, Sin Cara versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari. Like I said, I don't like the way Drew Gulak's being used because they don't allow him to do the stuff that made him popular, I guess, probably on the Indies. But from what I've seen on the Cruiserweight Classic, I liked what he did. Like, he was very technical, all these interesting submissions and what have you, and now he's not allowed to do that. He's basically just the fodder for everybody else's high flying moves. Sucks. And I don't think he'll ever be a star in the Cruiserweight division because that's all he's allowed to do is just do that and rest holds. That's pretty much it. But I'll probably just go with Cedric in that winning again, like they did on Superstars. The lumbar check's an awesome move, but I'm disappointed with Drew Gulak because I really liked him in the Cruiserweight Classic. It's the same reason why I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of why Zack Sabre Jr. didn't want to sign, and probably Kota Ibushi, because they don't want to be restricted to not being able to do what made them popular. So yeah, I'll go with Cedric in that to win. Bit of an odd way this is labelled out in the Wikipedia, but the next match is Roman Reigns versus Rusev in a Hell in a Cell match for the United States Championship. And I'd probably go with Reigns winning. Like, I just seen a thing, like I always say this, but when I look up the Hell in the Cell just to find the Wikipedia page, there's always something like on a What Culture or whatever. It was like the 5 positives, negatives thing, and one of them was about how the US title's kind of been overlooked and it's been more just a personal between Reigns and Rusev, and kind of agree, they haven't really made the US title feel as important as you would have thought it would be with Reigns getting it. But they've kind of just overlooked it, really. But I have enjoyed the build to it's been alright. And I like Rusev's new beard. That's kind of why I went with this. I wanted to try something new. I know you might think it looks a bit weird, but I actually quite liked it. Like when I just wanted to try something different. And I thought, if I don't like this, I'll just shave it off. But no, I quite like it. I'll probably get some flack at work for it, but I just thought I'd try something new, and I quite like it. But I like Rusev's new thing. I've never seen the Rusev style thing where he's just got like a shaved bit here, and then he's left the rest. I think that looks cool. Enough about beards. The build has been alright. I liked the thing when Rusev was showing like his family, like Papa Rusev and Mama Rusev and the dog Rusev and all this stuff. I thought that was good. And Reigns, he did that like attack thing when they set up the match ages ago on the stage. That was kind of cool, I guess. But it's been alright. It's been okay. Rusev got him in the accolade on the steps. It's been alright. I'll still go with Reigns winning. I think it'll be an alright match, but I guess like a lot of people, I don't agree with these like match specific pay-per-views. It's better if the match just came out of nowhere and was at a random time instead of at a specific time every single year. I don't agree with that. And the whole triple main event thing, there's one main event and it's the last match that goes on. Simple as that. No need to go into any more detail. That's it. Simple as that. There could be like marquee matches. That was a term they used to use all the time. But there's one main event and it's the last match that goes on the show. Same at No Mercy. Main event didn't start the show. Main event's the last match. Simple as that. Now, moving on, we'll have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. I was kind of upset that this didn't get turned into a triple threat match. I would have liked to have seen that. But this one, I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel like there needs to be a match or that there should be a match yet. Again, that's because the whole 2 pay-per-views a month crap, which doesn't need to happen. But I have enjoyed the matches, like Seth said with Jericho. I think he said like 2 matches with Jericho, and they were pretty good. And then the triple threat this week was alright. But this week, Kevin Owens killed Seth Rollins with a powerbomb on the apron. So to me, I thought about this last night. If this had happened like a couple of weeks ago or something, and Rollins had been out for ages, and then like they try setting up like this new person to be the number 1 contender, then like on the night or something, Kevin Owens getting ready to face Rollins, and there's like a backstage segment or something, and you just see the guy, whoever the guy is, I don't know, just someone who's supposed to face Owens, and then he's like down on the ground, he's like hurt or something, and like the camera just slowly zooms out or something, and you see like a leg, and then eventually it's revealed to be Seth Rollins, and he's like, I'm back and I'm coming for my title, bitch, or something like that. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Just came up with that last night. I was just thinking about it randomly while skipping through the Raw recaps on main event. But yeah, I thought that would have been kind of cool. But it doesn't seem to me like there needs to be a match yet, and especially a Hell in a Cell match. It's not like it's gotten to the point where these guys hate each other so much that it needs to end with a Hell in a Cell match. Doesn't feel that way to me. But I'll go with Kevin Owens winning, and it'd be good if we got some Chris Jericho coming out to help Owens or do something, because he's been like the highlight of Raw in general. I'll probably talk about that at the end. He's been the highlight for a while. Like his list stuff is just hilarious. And next we have Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, although they're now calling her Charlotte Flair, which I don't really like that. I think Charlotte was fine, but whatever. And another Hell in a Cell match, the Women's Championship. Now this, it just seems so forced in my opinion. It's like it's the same with Raw in general. Like it's not on SmackDown. It's not an issue on SmackDown or on NXT. But they always have to mention Women's Revolution this, Women's Revolution that. Oh, these are women. This is the first time ever, and they have to scream and shout. Apparently that makes people listen more and make things mean more, as if they start screaming and if they start shouting in their fake voices. Apparently that makes it mean more. That was the whole deal in that bloody stupid contract signing. Mick Foley screaming like a ferret. And then Charlotte coming in and her screaming, and oh my god, could they have called each other sweetheart any more fucking times? Oh my god, give it a fucking rest. Like even on Superstars, like I just put the volume down and go and do something else because the WWE Network video player is shit. While it's showing all the Raw recaps, and I heard it again. I was like, oh, shut the fuck up! All the time with that sweetheart shit. Both of them said it. I think it was like 3 or 4 times. I was like, give it a fucking rest. But it just seems so forced. Like the need to make it. They have to always mention that it's women doing this and women doing that. Like it doesn't happen on SmackDown. Like Nikki and Charlotte, Nikki and Carmella, or bloody Alexa and Becky. Although I just read something last night that just that fucking idiot Kevin Dunn hates Becky Lynch's accent and is not going to allow her to do any promos anymore. So I wondered where she came out. She just returns and she just starts speaking, and then Alexa comes out. I was like, okay, well, that was a bit abrupt. But apparently he hates her and doesn't want to hear her talk ever again. Yep, that's the person in charge of your show and has I don't know the word, has leeway or whatever. That's the guy affecting the show. Anyways, I think Sasha will win. I don't know if they'll go with Charlotte winning the title again, but I just wish they would do something different and have the feuds actually, a bit more meaningful and have stuff happen like they do on SmackDown, instead of just, not a whole lot happening. So we'll go with Sasha, but I don't know, like what are they doing with Nia Jax? What are they doing with... Well, they don't really have anyone else, but I just wish they would do something else instead of just the same thing over and over again. It could be a good match. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could be. But I think they're going to have to do something insane for it to, be memorable. But I don't know. I have my doubts. Just seems forced. Moving on, TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight Championship. I suppose the build's been going okay to this. It kind of got weird this past week on Raw. Like I was watching, and Brian Kendrick's like crying because he says he's gonna lose his livelihood or whatever if he loses and all this stuff. And he's like, I need you to lie down and let me win or something. I was just like, what? It was ridiculous. I never expected that to be said at all. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these guys facing again. I think like I said about the two reviews thing, if it was just one a month, 1 month Raw, 1 month SmackDown, then you could have like these matches like on a weekly episode of Raw or something instead of pretty much just a rematch fest here. That's exactly what most of the show is. It's just a rematch fest. 4 of the matches here happened on the last one. Um, like you could have had this match like on a Raw or something, and then someone else could be facing TJ or something. Or if Kendrick wins, I don't know. 'Cause he lost to bloody Rich Swann this past week on Raw. I was kind of surprised at that. I'll go with TJ, but I wouldn't be opposed to Kendrick winning. But I don't know. Again, the cruiserweight thing, much like the women on Raw, it seems like they just try to like force it and say all this stupid stuff. It just seems forced, in my opinion. I don't like the way they go with that. It's just like, just get on with it and just have a feud and just do this. You don't need to mention all this other crap. Like on Lucha Underground, they have male versus female matches, but they don't go on about bloody, oh, it's empowering to women, oh, women's rights, oh, blah, 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 and all this pish. They just get on with it. They just have a match, they have a feud, and you don't even think anything about it because they don't mention it. They just get on with it. Like, there was 2 matches this week on Lucha Underground where it was male versus female, and they just got on with it, and it wasn't a big deal. It was just a good match or what have you. But they don't make a big deal out of it. Like they try to make it, like they try to over promote it or over, I don't know. I just don't like the way WWE goes about these things. It's so stupid. But yeah, I go TJ for the win, I guess. Moving on, the New Day versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Now, when this was initially announced, the team, I can't even remember when it was. Was it after Clash of Champions? I can't remember. There's too much of these fucking shows to remember. But I was kind of surprised they went that route. I really didn't expect that. And initially I was like, oh, that's kind of stupid. But as it went on, I quite enjoyed it. But the last kind of weeks has sort of been, haven't really been doing a whole lot. They did the whole Cesaro and Sheamus thing on Facebook, which is kind of funny. But this past week, I can't really remember what they did. They just had a match against the New Day, which like kind of defeats the purpose of this match, no? I never understood that. I remember like they did that with Reigns versus like Rollins or something. The Raw before, I think it was like 2 years ago or something. It was just so dumb. Like, why give the match away? So dumb. But I would like to see Cesaro and Sheamus, but they won't win. They won't win. New Day will win. They will need to break the next record of Demolition because the Demolition guys are like pursuing WWE or something. So gotta just get rid of that little achievement or whatever. Can't have that be getting mentioned. Same thing with Nikki becoming longest reigning Divas champion, or whoever or whatever. You know, all these records, they have to be broken because they don't like to mention older people. Like Cena has to go and he'll have to go and beat Ric Flair's thing just so they don't have to mention Ric Flair or whatever. Like there'll probably be a long ass WWE title reign so they can beat CM Punk's reign. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens soon. But moving on, did I say who will win? New Day will win. Oh god, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, or the Pet Ferret and Big Robot versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The way the Gallows and Anderson spoke about this last time is fucking awful. They're just getting treated like shit. Honestly, they really are. Like, they try so hard on commentary. I'll give them the due. They try so hard to get them over and they say all this stuff, but they don't actually allow them to do anything that's made them popular. Like, I haven't seen any matches of them before because I don't have time, because WWE takes up too much of my free time. But I always hear from people that they're good. And I heard like this week or something that Carl Anderson once beat Shinsuke Nakamura, and that Carl Anderson is an amazing wrestler and all this stuff, but then he just gets, you don't get to see any of that. It's either just rest holds or just getting squashed, straight up squashed by Big Cass. I mean, the Big Robot. Just leave. They should just leave and go away, because clearly nothing's going to happen, or get Thingy to SmackDown. Maybe they'll have a chance there. But what are they? I don't understand. They're just ruining the tag division on Raw. Like, it's just shit. It's simply shit. Like, people back the draft like, oh my god, the Raw roster is so amazing. So why is SmackDown better then? Simple as that. Yeah, I'll go with the big robot and his pet Ferret. He'll probably win. Although I was impressed that they managed to do their whole intro without a microphone this week on Raw. I'll give them their due. I was kind of impressed with that. But yeah, moving on. Final match: Bayley versus Dana Brooke, and another rematch. Now, where are my WWE ice cream bars? No, I did take note of some things I wanted to talk about. Yes. Well, we talked already about the Foley trying too hard in his promo. I did sort of mention that already, how it just felt like he was trying too hard to promote the match or whatever. And the Dana and Bayley thing. Now, I didn't have an issue with the arm wrestling thing. Like, people were going nuts about it, and there was boring chants or whatever. Storyline wise, it kind of made sense, like, because Dana had like hurt her arm or what have you, hurt Bayley's arm. I wasn't against it, but the crowd did not like it. People online did not like it. They were chanting boring and this is stupid, I think was a chant. I don't know, they were going nuts about it. But I didn't have an issue with it. But they're having a match here on the show. I'll probably go with Bayley to win, but hasn't been a whole lot of build to it really. I mean, it did sort of start back at that the women's championship match where Bayley like beat up Dana. And they've sort of been going back and forth since then, but it's nothing amazing, really. It's nothing special. Nothing really else to say about it, really. Bayley will win. Now, here's the other things I wanted to talk about. Y2J finding his list was like the highlight of Raw by far. There was nothing else really worth mentioning from this past week on Raw, but that was hilarious. Like that whole thing with Jinder Mahal was hilarious. The breathing thing. We need to see more funny backstage stuff like that. I thought that was great. How like he was doing the breathing thing and he was like, stupid idiot. I thought that was hilarious. And then he was looking for the list and he found Braun Strowman with it and all this other stuff. Awesome. Then Paul Heyman had this fucking stupid promo. Like, apparently Vince McMahon was furious with it because why would you rely on the crowd for your promo? That seems stupid to me. And I'll give Heyman his due. He really tried to get the crowd to start chanting Goldberg, but you're in Minnesota, Brock Lesnar's hometown. And Brock Lesnar, for the longest time, has never been booed. Why would you think that's going to change, especially in Minnesota? Like, maybe in another place it might have. But, no. That's dumb. That's so fucking dumb. And this is the guy that's a genius, Vince McMahon. Okay. But they started chanting like Goldberg sucks, and they were just chanting for Thingy, and Heyman was just sort of speaking a load of shit, and then they just played their music and they went out. Fucking stupid. Another thing, they were taking away Curtis Axel signs, so clearly that they're not actually going to go through with this Curtis Axel push. I mean, who didn't know that was going to happen? I mean, come on. I'm not surprised. I mean, that's just so fucking like stupid. I don't get why they do that. What's the problem? Like, what's the problem to take away Curtis Axel signs? What? Because somebody wants to support someone? Oh, you can't be doing that. Come on, no, none of that. Can't be having this guy getting more cheers than Roman. No, can't have that. So yeah, there's that. But I knew he would never get pushed. People were like when he had the thing with Bo, like, oh, this could be the start for Curtis Axel. Whoa ho, no. And I have nothing against Curtis Axel, like the guy, but it's never going to happen. They're never going to push him. It's as simple as that. We've already spoke about the club losing all the fucking time. And then there's the stupid Emma-Lena thing where they're going to ruin Emma. I mean, she wasn't ruined already on the main roster. But they're going to do some, I don't know, like supermodel thing or some pish. She was perfect in her heel gimmick before. But now you're going to do this. What more is there to say? Well, that's it anyway. That's my Hell in a Cell predictions. Feel free to share yours. And I don't know if I'm going to bother doing reviews anymore. It just doesn't seem worth it. Even these don't seem worth it. Like, I enjoy doing this sort of stuff, but I get no sort of feedback from it. Although that's all my videos in general. Or if I do, it's very little, and I have to pick and prod people to actually get them to give me some information, or to ask them what their predictions is, or so how, like, I don't know, I don't get it. Like a predictions video, you'd think people would give their predictions, but no, it's just vague, uninformative comments if I do get any. If, and I really do mean if. And if I do, I have to pick and prod them to get some information out of them, what they thought about the video or what their predictions is and all this stuff. Like, it's a waste of time. I don't know if I'm going to bother doing this. I'll maybe do the predictions, but I think I'm going to stop with the NXT stuff. And I think maybe come the end of the year, if nothing's changed, I'll stop the reviews. Maybe keep the predictions, but I don't think I'm going to bother with reviews because it's too time consuming. Because I like to yap about wrestling. I like to give my thoughts on it. Like, I didn't think I was going to talk this long, 20 minutes. I felt like I was going through it pretty quickly, but it's not worth it. It's not worth my time, especially the views, because I could be getting other stuff done then, which would save me time later on. So I think it'll be, if nothing changes, I'll be stopping them. There was a while where they were getting really good views. Like there was one of them I think got like 60, 70,000 views, and no idea how. I think it was the Elimination Chamber one where like Dean won the title, but then got it taken away from him or something. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But even around the other time, there was still a few of them was getting like a few thousand views. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but it's the same with anything that doesn't have WWE in the title. The WWE videos still do alright, but if it doesn't have WWE in it, only gets like 20 odd views. So like, I've been loving Mafia 3, but nobody gives it a chance. So yeah, nothing else to say. That's it. Thanks for watching if you did. See you later.